Hi guys, and welcome to episode 6 of my new YouTube series, How to Start a Successful Online Jewelry Business. In this video we're going to be looking at how you can start marketing your new business so you can start getting traffic and hopefully start getting sales. But before we get into the video, I just really appreciate it if you could hit a like on the video and hit that subscribe button, especially if you find this video helpful. So with that said, let's get into the video. Now, when it comes to having a new website, marketing is one of the most important things you can do, because you need to market your website so that people know that you're there. Because if people don't know your website exists, they're not going to visit your website, and if they're not visiting your website, then they're definitely not going to buy from your website. So that is why you need to have a marketing strategy in place. And when it comes to marketing, you need to really split it into two different elements. The first is a long-term strategy and the second is a short-term strategy. Now, when it comes to long-term strategy, you really want to be looking at getting organic traffic to your website, because this is the best converting traffic. It outperforms any other kind of traffic going. So it doesn't matter whether it's social media, paid advertising, organic traffic is still the best converting type of traffic. And the best way to generate this organic traffic is something called SEO, or search engine optimization. And this is where you gear your website so it ranks well in search engines such as Google or Bing. And to do this, you need to take a few steps in order to start producing SEO on your website, because there's things called on-site SEO and off-site SEO. And for on-site SEO, it's things like keyword placement. So to do that, you need to do keyword research, and a lot of people struggle with doing keyword research because they don't know what they should be targeting. And the easiest way to think about this is to picture your target audience. Who is your target audience? And then once you've got that in your head, you can then start thinking, how will they start searching for what I've got? So say you produced handmade engagement rings. To do this, you would need to gear your keyword research towards handmade jewellery, because you don't want to be targeting mainstream audiences who are just going to go and buy from a high street jeweller or any other type of jeweller. You're looking specifically for the kind of person who's searching for handmade jewellery. So you need to start doing keyword research on something like Google's keyword planner to look at handmade jewellery, handmade diamond rings, handmade engagement rings, and see what kind of search traffic you're going to be looking at. And one of the things that I picked up off somebody else was you actually want to go for low search volumes, because you're going to find it easier to rank for these kind of things. Whereas if you want to, say for example, you want to just rank for diamond engagement rings, you're going up against a lot of competition. And when you search diamond engagement ring in Google's keyword planner, you'll see that competition is high, and there's a lot of it. Even though it's got high search terms every month, you're competing against a lot of other people. Whereas if you refine your search term to handmade 18 karat white gold diamond solitaire ring, you'll probably find the search volume every month is a lot lower. So gearing your website towards those kind of searches is going to mean that your website ranks a lot quicker, and also is going to appear a lot higher in those kind of search results. So that's the kind of keyword research you want to do. You want it to be towards your target audience, but you also want to target low volume searches every month, because it's going to be easier to rank for. And other things you can do in terms of on-site SEO is you can create internal links on your website. Now, a lot of people will probably say, why do you do this? Well, the reason for this is each page has certain authority, and even though your website's new, every page still has so much authority in the eyes of search engines. And if you link one page to another, you're saying that that page is important because you're linking to it. And this kind of internal linking, one, it will help Google or Bing when it's actually crawling your website. So when you submit your website to a search engine, it sends out, they're known as spiders. I don't know why they're known as spiders, but they're known as spiders, and they crawl your website. And if you have internal links, it makes it easier for those spiders to navigate your website. And the easier they find it to navigate, the more likely they're going to rank it, because there's more content they can find from your site, because they can navigate your site a lot easier. So those are the two main things you want to do when it comes to internal SEO or on-page SEO. You want to be doing keyword research, and you also want to be doing internal links. It's going to make it easier for search engines to crawl your website, then index your website. The next thing you want to do is you want to be looking at off-site SEO. Now, this is something you have far less control over, but it is something that is, in the long run, it's really going to help your website. And one of the big things you'll see talked about is something called backlinks. And backlinks are similar to the internal links on your website, except that these links are coming from external sources. So something like an online directory or something like that. It will provide a link from a website that's got a bit more authority to you to your website. So in terms of search engines, the fact that that site is linking to your website shows that your website is quite trustworthy. Now you don't want to spam this and you don't want to buy backlink packages, because a lot of these backlinks aren't really worth anything, because you want to go for quality instead of quantity, which means you'd prefer to have 10 good quality backlinks rather than 1,000 poor quality backlinks. So that is why you want to focus on getting good quality backlinks from reputable sources. Now this will take time, but if you've done anything like, say you've won an award, or you've done anything kind of local or at your college, community, anything like that, and you've been mentioned on, say, a local newspaper or a journal or anything trade related, contact those people and ask them politely, could you link to my website? Now, in the trade, generally we do like to help each other, so they will more than likely say, yes, we'll put a link in for you. And it's these little tips that can help build backlinks, which will then build your website in the search rankings. So those are a couple of things you want to do in terms of SEO. Now, I will link an article in the description where I cover this in a bit more detail, and it is worth a read, especially if you want to pursue SEO as a way of getting traffic to your website. Because as I said, it's the best kind of traffic, especially for conversion rates. Now it will take some time for your site to start ranking in search engines, because you need to build these links, and the search engines need to see that your website is trustworthy rather than just a spam site, because there's a lot of spam sites that are launched every day that honestly are just trying to cause people harm. So it will take some time in terms of SEO with your keyword research, your internal linking, and any kind of offsite SEO in terms of backlinks, in order for your site to start moving up the search engines. And you can expect 6 to 24 months for this to happen. As I say, it's quite a long process, but in the end it is definitely worth it. And it is what I aim to do with all of my websites, because the traffic is generally of far better quality than from any other source. But what do you do in the short term? What do you do in that period where your site is starting to rank? Well, that's where a short-term strategy comes into play. And there's two ways you can do this. Well, there's two ways I've discovered you can do this. The first is to get social, and that is to start getting on social media and start promoting your business on social media. Now, I've developed a strategy to find out which ones are the best social media platforms for my business, because even though there's lots of social media platforms out there, you'll find that some aren't actually that good for your business and don't generate you any traffic. And if you're spending time promoting on these kind of platforms and you're not getting any return on your investment in terms of time, then it's not worth doing. So for my social media strategy, what I suggest is post the same content to all the main social media platforms, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, any other ones that you're on, and then do this for a month. So you'll post content to these platforms every single day. That's another tip. You always want to be posting consistently on social media. So you want to be posting at least once a day to get your name out there. There's always new content coming onto social media platforms. So the longer you take between posting, the more likely you're going to drop down in terms of any kind of search results or any kind of promoted content on there. So you always want to be promoting regularly. But this content that you posting every single day, at the end of the month you want to do some analysis on your traffic, and what you'll see is probably 1 or 2 platforms will be providing significantly more traffic than all the others. And when you see that these 1 or 2 platforms are far more successful in driving traffic to your website, you want to put your focus into those and not in the other ones, because you've only got so much time you can spend marketing in a day, especially when you're doing everything else running a business. So you want to be focusing on the platforms that are providing the best value to your business. And for me, from my experience, for a jewelry business, the 2 best platforms were Instagram and Facebook, and that is because these are quite visual medias, whereas Twitter is more of a text-based media, which actually works really well for the Hayward life. I get quite a lot of traffic from it, but I never got traffic from Twitter for my jewelry business. Instead, it was the visual ones like Facebook and Instagram. And this all come around from this strategy that I developed around about 18 months ago, and honestly it works, and I've told a few other people about it and it's worked for those as well, so I definitely would give that a try. So that is kind of a social media strategy that you want to be following. The second thing in terms of a short-term strategy is paid advertising. Now, I don't know a lot about paid advertising. I've never done it personally. I've always tried to go the free route because I like the challenge of driving traffic to my website and it not costing me anything. But paid traffic is something you should consider, especially when you're selling online and you want sales coming in quickly. But, and it's a big but, you need to do some research into how to do this, because it's so easy to spend money and invest in adverts. So whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Google, any of these kind of platforms, and it's really easy to invest, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose money really quickly. So it's worth either spending some time watching YouTube or the numerous blog posts that are out there on how to do this kind of marketing, or even better, pay somebody who does this as a profession, because they know what they're doing and they will know the best ways to drive traffic to your business using paid advertising. But always do your research into these companies, and before you sign up with them, ask them to prove that they know what they're doing. Get them to show you some case studies of previous work that they have done. So that is a quick overview of how you can start marketing your website. So how you can do a long-term strategy in terms of SEO and a short-term strategy using social media and paid advertising. And you want to carry on with these because they are continuing processes. Marketing is always changing, it's always developing. And while you want to be focused mainly on getting organic traffic, you still want to keep up with your social media all the time, because the larger your audience grows on social media, the more chance some of those will visit your website. And the more people you get visiting the website, the more chance you have of people clicking on that buy button, so you start making money, which is basically the reason why you started an online jewelry business. So I hope that has helped you guys and given you a basic understanding of some of the marketing tips you can do. As I said, I will leave a link in the description below to a couple of articles I wrote on an introductory guide to SEO and some simple guides to social media marketing, which covers it in a little bit more detail than what I've gone through in this video. If you have found this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you would leave a like on it, and I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. And if you want first access to any content, also hit the notification bell. And somewhere here I will leave a link to the rest of the videos in the How to Start a Successful Jewelry Business playlist, so you can go through and learn lots and lots more. So I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great time. Hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.